Good morning, Villa fans, and welcome to a special kind of podcast, really. I know it's match day today, and we've got Cardiff this evening, so very much looking forward to the game. I'm going to be watching it on the box and supporting from the living room again, hopefully knee sliding. Not a last-minute winner, because that will be too sort of close to call. Hopefully it's going to be a bit more comfortable than that. Looks like latest injury kind of news from the press conference yesterday is Marlon is a little bit sick, so a little bit doubtful. Could recover. Don't know how serious that sickness is, but I'm hoping that he's going to get sort of 90 minutes tonight. Looks like Mings is doubtful. Emi is doubtful. I think he's mentioned obviously Kamara's out, Onana's out. So there's a lot of players kind of missing for this, and it looks like, we want to go strong for this. We want to get through to the next round. I want to get it done early in the bag, maybe kill the game off. And then sort of rest players for Bruges on Tuesday. But, we need to take Cardiff seriously. They will be a threat. They do carry a threat, even though they have a very poor defensive record in the Championship, let's say. But they can still rock up at Villa Park and score. And hopefully we need to be switched on from the first minute. And it's us that need to have the sort of impetus to drive the game forward. Just looking forward to a good game tonight and hopefully progressing to the quarterfinals. But what I wanted to jump on here and talk about is obviously, we're 28 games into the Premier League season now. So there are only 10 games remaining. So I just wanted to take a look at the last 10 games that we've got. It's 30 points up for grabs. Looking at the fixtures sort of realistically, obviously, we might have FA Cup and Champions League games in and around these fixtures. So some of them could be moved around, like the Liverpool game was moved and brought forward. But I just wanted to have a quick little dive into it and just sort of see how many points that we're possibly going to pick up in the next sort of 10 games, and just see, get your comments and your thoughts on this as well. Just sort of diving straight into it. Last 10 games. Our next Premier League game is against Brentford on the 8th of March. It's our only Premier League game in March as well. We're away at I think it's the GTEC Stadium. I think last season we did all right there, as far as I remember. But Brentford are a very strong team. They've got players that are banging form. Mbeumo and Wissa in particular, who always kind of cause Villa and cause most teams actually big threats as well. So Brentford coming up at the GTEC, and obviously this game is sandwiched in between the two Club Bruges games as well. So depending on how it goes on Tuesday, hopefully, we're coming away from Bruges in a good spot, maybe a draw, maybe even a away win. Depending on that one, I don't know whether Unai might look to kind of rest players, because this game is on a Saturday, and then we've got the Wednesday return leg against Bruges at Villa Park. So this game is sandwiched in between. So, if there are some players who are picking up little niggling injuries that might need sitting out, then does he do that against Brentford? I'm hoping not. I'm hoping that we can remain strong for the last 10 games of the Premier League and still have enough to go in the Champions League and the FA Cup. I'm hoping there's some players that are going to be coming back from these little injuries, hopefully soon as well. But yeah, score prediction for Brentford. And I want to be as open and honest on these as well. As much as I'd like to predict 10 wins out of 10, I think we're actually going to come unstuck against Brentford. I think it'll be a 2-1 defeat. It'll be a close game, but I can't see us containing Mbeumo and Wissa, and given our, defensive record as well. And I think Brentford's home record is pretty strong too. So yeah, I just feel as though, I know that we beat them at Villa Park earlier in the season, but they were on a horrendous away run then. I just think at the GTEC, they are a different team. So I think that's going to be 2-1 Brentford. So 0 points out of that one. And then the next one after that is Brighton away. Now we've seen what Brighton can do, when they're on form. Easily dispatched Chelsea a couple of weeks ago. Mitoma is coming back into form. Minte is looking very dangerous. João Pedro seems to be amongst the goals. He was in my fantasy team. So that's going to be a difficult game at the Amex as well. For that one, I'm going to go for 1 point. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. I think we might just rescue something towards the end. I think we've got a good record at the Amex as well. But yeah, let's see how that one goes. I think that'll be a 2-2 draw. And then third fixture is Nottingham Forest at home, Villa Park. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff, which we've done well at Villa Park, obviously, in general. But the 3 o'clock kickoffs, like against Ipswich, I don't know what it is, just struggled. When the games are under the lights, like tonight, we seem to rouse and get up for those better. I think, again, I'm putting a Desmond on this, a 2-2 draw against Forest at home. Obviously, in the reverse game at the City Ground, we were leading up until the 87th minute and then chucked the game away in the last sort of 5 minutes of the game and lost it 2-1. But here I'm going 2-2, so another point kind of on the board there. And then next up, fourth game is Southampton away at I was about to call it the Dell there. It's not now, it's the St Mary's. So Southampton are in free fall at the moment. They look like they're down and given up, and I don't see them picking up too many points from the remainder of the season. Having said that, we only beat them 1-0, and John Duran had to score at Villa Park, even though we had lots of more chances to score. But Southampton can be dangerous. Tyler Dibbling, he's a player that I think will be moving on in the summer, maybe to Villa. But I'm predicting a 2-0 win for Villa in this one. So an away 2-0 win, 3 points on the board there against Southampton. And then we've got Newcastle, who have always been a bit of a bogey side for us. Very difficult to play against. Isak, if he's in form, if he's available, he always comes up with the goods. Anthony Gordon, he's a dangerous player as well. Tonali, Guimaraes, Joe Linton always has a game of his life against us. So I don't know, this is at home at Villa Park, but I think we're going to go for a draw against Newcastle. I think we need to win that one because obviously we need to, beat teams around us. But Newcastle, they look strong. And depending on if Isak is available or not for that game, then he makes a huge difference to the way they play. I mean, as you saw them play against Liverpool, Liverpool were quite comfortable in that game. That's because they didn't have Isak playing. But a 1-1 draw against Newcastle is what I think. So another point on the board. Then we've got the away trip to Man City, to the Etihad, or the Etihad. I just can't see us getting anything from that. I know we have in the past and done well against City and been their kind of bogey team and beat them earlier on this season and beat them convincingly. But City, they're up and down at the moment. They seem to be clicking into gear and then out of gear. It depends on what kind of day we catch them on, really. But I think I'm going to go with a City win for this one, if I'm being honest. I think maybe 2-3-0 City. So 0 points on the board there, unfortunately, at the Etihad. And then the seventh game is Fulham at home. I think another 3 o'clock kickoff. I think we've always done kind of well against Fulham in recent years. I think I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Villa at Villa Park, just to scrape a result there against Fulham. But these are all close games. So, yeah, another 3 points on the board there. Bournemouth away is the eighth game. Obviously, Bournemouth are banging form and a very good home record as well. And they're looking at Champions League, Europa League spots as well. And Iraola's got them playing some magnificent football. Justin Kluivert is reborn for them. Semenyo is a player that I've always liked. They've got, who's the other guy? Is it Kotaro, Dango Kotaro on the wing as well. He's popped up with a hat-trick in recent games. And yeah, just a well-run machine. Kirkes at left-back getting forward looks good. I reckon he'll end up at Liverpool. Defences, is it Zubani and Hussein look like a decent combo as well. So I think, unfortunately, guys, I think away at Bournemouth, I think we will lose 1-0 to them. It's a tight pitch as well down there, and I can't see us just getting anything from that game. So I'm going to go 1-0 to Bournemouth on that one. The ninth game in this 10-game run is Spurs at home. Obviously, Spurs are getting bodies back. Didn't do too much business in the transfer window, brought in Tel and Danso. We've played them in the cup and beat them. It depends on their sort of injury, what kind of injuries they have coming into this game. But because we're at home, because it's going to be the last home game at Villa Park in the Premier League, I think the crowd will be up for it. I think we're going to need them, and I think we'll get the win there. I think it'll be a 2-1 win for Villa against Spurs in the last home game of the Premier League season. And then the last game of the season, we've got away at Old Trafford, Theatre of Dreams, Manchester United, last game of the season. United are very sort of hit and miss, hard to predict. Picked up that 3-2 win against Ipswich just the other day. but they look like, I mean, to be honest, they could be, well, I said they could be struggling in the relegation fight, but I think they're pretty well clear of it now. I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a 1-1 draw. I can see Bruno Fernandes scoring in this game for them. And then us sort of getting a late kind of equaliser for a 1-1 draw. So basically, out of a possible 30 points in the last 10 games, I'm predicting that we're going to pick up 13 out of 30. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. So just to recap, Brentford, 2-1 defeat, 0 points. Brighton, away, 2-2 draw, 1 point. Forest, at home, 2-2 draw, 1 point. Southampton, away, 2-0 win, 3 points. Newcastle, at home, 1-1 draw, 1 point. City, away, 3-0 defeat, 0 points. Fulham, at home, 2-1 win, 3 points. Bournemouth, away, 1-0 loss, 0 points. Spurs at home, 2-1 win, 3 points. And then Man United away, 1-1 draw, 1 point. That's just my thoughts on the last 10 sort of Premier League games. I'm not sure what 13 points would give us. Is that going to give us enough to get into sort of Europa League spot? It depends on obviously how the other teams perform as well. So it's going to be a bit of a, a race to the sort of 5th place and 6th place and see how we get on. But maybe the FA Cup, winning that is our best route into Europe. Winning that would mean a Europa League space. So maybe we should put some focus on that. We've also got the Champions League, Club Bruges 2 games. I really want us to get through that for the money as well. And that would help on the PSR point of view. But then obviously we come up against a Liverpool or a PSG if we do get past Bruges, which you must say is going to be a challenging game for us and a big ask for us to get over. So let's see how far we can enjoy that sort of dream in the Champions League. But, the Premier League is the bread and butter and we need to focus on these 10 games. Hopefully, we can turn some of those draws into wins and even a couple of those losses, maybe get points there. And who knows? But, it's up to Unai Emery to rally the troops, use the squad, and basically get into European football in any form, really. Ideally, Champions League, obviously. Europa League would be nice. Conference League. Do we really want to go back to conference playing on a Thursday in the, against some really, really sort of weird sort of teams? But anyway, I would take any form of Europe at this moment in time as we're sitting in 10th on -5. But guys, let me know your thoughts. I just wanted to jump on for sort of, 10, 12 minutes and just give my thoughts on the last sort of run-in of the Premier League season. Let me know what you agree with, what you don't agree with. What are your score predictions? List the 10 in the comments and you put your scores next to them. Let's get some interaction going. If you've made it this far in the video, do like and subscribe. We are growing the channel. Wanting to get, let's put a like target on this one of 50 likes. Until the next video, guys, which will be later tonight, instant match reaction. Hopefully we're through to the quarterfinals. Enjoy your Friday. Bye-bye.